Hip-hop is constantly in a state of transformation. This is the result of being a culture driven by fresh and new innovation. The biggest source of transformative influence within hip-hop is the album, the nucleus of change to come and all that has came. Albums can enter hip-hop as earthquakes, a trembling force of industry-altering epicness. Albums can also come with the silence of jewel thieves, their presence being too small and quiet to effectively reach the masses or have a massive impact. But every so often, what brings the biggest shift within hip-hop's creative consciousness is a body of work buried deep underground. An album that came without the assistance of major label machinery, without the financial backing of a wealthy investor. Hip-hop came from the dirt. Within the authentic raw is where you find the music that has the promise of transforming hip-hop into its next evolution. This is Today in Hip-Hop, Mystic Styles by 3 6 Mafia. The day is May 23rd, 1995. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence appear on the most recent cover of Vibe magazine promoting their latest film, Bad Boys. Montel Jordan's This Is How We Do It is in its 7th consecutive week at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Method Man is ruling over the rap and R&B charts with I'll Be There For You with Mary J. Blige. Fellow Wu-Tang madman Old Dirty Bastard had just received 4 mics from The Source for his debut album. And fellow New York newcomers Big L and Mobb Deep caused the world to stir following their acclaimed debuts, Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous and Infamous. But on that same day, only 1,096.6 miles away in a city called Memphis, Tennessee, 3 6 Mafia independently released Mystic Styles, their official debut album. The collective made up of 6 Memphis natives crafted an obscure rap album unlike anything that was going down in the North. It had a sound that was too haunting and ominous to be considered in conversation with what was reaching airwaves in the surrounding South. DJ Paul, Juicy J, Lord Infamous, Coops Danica, Gangsta Boo, and Crunchy Black, along with major contributors Playa Fly and Kingpin Skinny Pimp. The music wasn't just out of the box. They were in a different stratosphere of horrorcore imagery, ineffable symbolism, and lo-fi griminess, creating an aesthetic of a hip-hop horror film. Only 83 days after Queen Latifah won Best Rap Performance at the Grammys for her single UNITY, 3 6 Mafia was selling an album of unified chaos. The weekend of Mystic Styles drop, the classic children's film Casper premiered in the box office. It was the first feature film to use CGI advancement and to have a fully CGI lead actor. But 3 6 Mafia didn't focus on friendly ghosts or sweet little girls. Instead, they focused on brutal violence, hard drug use, and satanic acceptance. You see, these topics are still connected to negative connotations, but they're far more accepted in modern rap. Lyrics talking about gun violence and hard drugs are commonly heard on the radio. But 23 years ago, the taboo content caused DJs to avoid playing the Memphis group. Only Andre Cash Money and Stan Bell, 2 local Memphis DJs, chose to support 3 6 by playing The Summer. The Summer builds vivid narratives around a sample of Rick James's Hollywood. Bow Wow brought that sample back to radio in 2006 with his single Out of My System.
I'm sitting looking out the window like trying to fix the situation that's at hand. You still.
The origin of 3 6 Mafia goes all the way back to 1991. The same year the NWA's Niggas for Life overcame REM's At a Time to make them the first rap group crowned #1 on the Billboard 200. While one group was making history, the architects of another group were being introduced to each other. DJ Paul met Juicy J, and the two began co-producing within this small rap group Backyard Posse. The group was very temporary, but the two producers stayed together as 666 Mafia. That name was inspired by a lyric rap by Lord Infamous, the half-brother of DJ Paul. The group changed their name to 3 6 Mafia before the release of Mystic Styles. But what didn't change was their skin-chilling synths, their rapid-fire hats, their peace-disrupting 808s, and the overall nightmarish ambience of their music. Even Marvin Gaye's 1976 angelic classic I Want You is flipped into a ghostly incantation.
All these niggas really wanna try to jump up, but they know they gonna catch a couple of my submachine gun fire to their jaws.
It's this unpolished, grungy production that helped DJ Paul and Juicy J lay down the groundwork of hip-hop's future, the forefathers of both crunk and trap music. Styles that come from Memphis often take years to travel. 3 6 Mafia's Tear the Club Up is the aggressive, destructive gladiator crunk that Lil Jon would become famous for. Both Now I'm High Part 3 and Gotta Touch 'Em Part 2 are home to Lord Infamous's expeditious flow that's similar to the triplet style made famous 19 years later when Migos used it in their breakout single, Versace.
This shit is beginning to come into focus, but no one can figure out if I must murder or stop psychosis. Tripping around in the dungeons, unloading Berettas, I'm jacking your whole shit.
The The late A$AP Yams actually thought about Lord Infamous and not the intended Bone Thugs-n-Harmony when A$AP Rocky first used that double time flow in 2011's Palace.
Give me the title, then give me the cash. Put it in back and I'm onto the trap. Pulling my stash, shit my swag. Niggas is wicked and whack.
Ironically, 3 6 Mafia and Bone Thugs had a minor beef during that Mystic Styles era. There's a record called Live By Your Rep that was inspired by this small beef. Mystic Styles is said to have sold 250,000 copies independently. It was largely a hometown classic, but access to the internet inspired 90s babies like Metro Boomin, Denzel Curry, Space Ghost Perp, and Ray Shremmerd to turn the music of their adolescence into the music of their generation's present. Classic albums aren't just timeless, but the time capsule of what music was like before and how music changed after. 3 6 Mafia's Mystic Styles is a classic, essential to hip-hop's transformation 23 years after its release date. And that is what we choose to celebrate on this day in hip-hop. What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.